Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the extended interview series where today I am so excited to have Jo Ann talk about confidence. So, this is a topic that I know is very important because if I didn't have the confidence I had, I would never be doing all these interviews. So,
Yeah.
those of you who just are joining us or have not met me, my name is Cindy, and I am on a mission to simplify the online business world by empowering solopreneurs to start sharing their message so that they can have a positive impact on the world. So, welcome, Jo Ann. I'm so happy to have you here. Would you like to introduce yourself and share a little bit about who you are?
Yes. My name's Jo Ann Kobuke, and I'm the founder of Midlife Rewritten.
Hmm.
And I can see that my internet connection says it's a little unstable, so hopefully it's not going to be a problem.
Oh, well,
But yes, so my business is a coaching business. I coach women in developing confidence. So my ideal client is in that 40 to 60-year range, kind of in that midlife space, looking at, you know, evaluating their life and saying, okay, what is it that I really want to get done in the time that I have remaining to me? And what do I need to do to accomplish that? And a lot of times, the thing that comes up the most is confidence. I
mhm.
need to improve my confidence, or my lack of confidence is what's keeping me from going back to school, or leaving this dead end job and finding a job that really gets me excited. Or I've always wanted to have a business, but I'm too old to do that. It's that kind of thing that really keeps women stuck
Mm.
stuck in that little comfort zone, that you have, that thing that and is comfortable. And so you just say, well, it's just a little too scary out there. I think I'll just stay right here.
That's such a shame, right? We should all be stepping.
It is.
Absolutely.
I know. I
So why
know.
do you think it is that so many women struggle with confidence? Why is this such an issue?
Well, if you look at, there's really all different kinds of factors. It starts when you're young,
Hmm.
right? Depending upon how you're parented, you're either encouraged to be brave, you're encouraged to take risks. If you were the son that your parents had always, your dad had always hoped for, then they're going to encourage you to do those kinds of things. But if you weren't in that environment, then typically you got the girl upbringing. The be nice, don't rock the boat, you know, be seen and not heard. Don't do that, honey. You might hurt yourself. All of that.
That's not the
So
lady.
that that kind of starts out like that, right?
Right.
And if you don't have that strong nurturing to take a risk and to understand that failure is okay, then you start life uncertain,
Hmm.
right? You start life thinking that you have to kind of just be a pretty face.
Hmm.
So, and then from there, it only gets worse.
Right.
Because then you look at the media. What does the media tell us about women, right? Your job is to be a pretty face, or a thin blonde beautiful body to show off a car, or
Mhm.
you know whatever else, beer, whatever it is. And so you think, oh, okay, well, that's my job as a woman.
Right.
And it's true that things are changing, but especially for women in my age grouping from 4 to 60, they're still impacted by that sense of this is how life works for a woman. And it takes a lot of taking off those layers that you've put on over the years that have really weighed you down and dampened your love of life and your enthusiasm. And a lot of times I think women get to that stage and they just think, well, this is my lot in life. I've raised my kids, I did my job, I worked, and now I'm retiring, and I guess that's it. But the thing is, we're living so much longer these days, and the quality of our life is so much better,
Hmm.
that if you're 50, 60, you can look forward to 20 or 30 years worth of good, strong living
Hmm.
if you choose to do the best with it, right?
Absolutely.
But if you choose to just kind of sit on the sidelines, then that's all it is. Life passes you by, and you get to the end, and you go, "Wow, I think I really missed the boat here."
Hmm.
And the sad thing is, you can't do anything about it by that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump up and
You
take
don't
a nap.
get a do over.
This is
And so,
true. This is true. So, how could
yeah,
we in this group strengthen that confidence muscle and become more confident?
yeah, you know, it starts with um, being kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with treating yourself kindly, right? It starts with telling that damned inner critic voice of yours to take a hike, because you're always listening. That voice is always there. Sorry, just yammering at you. So you really have to distance yourself from that voice. I encourage my clients to think of the personality of that voice
Hmm.
and give it a name.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's bossy Betty, or um, what is it? Someone else that I can't remember now. But whatever it is, whatever personality that is, and by doing that, you can say, "Oh, there she is again. There's whining Wanda. She's whining at me about doing this or the other thing," and you can kind of step back a little bit, right?
Hmm.
But when you're just in it and your head is spinning with all those things, you're just like, "Oh, stop! I'm just going to forget whatever that was because it's too much work." Um, so that's one of the first things.
Yeah.
So learn to be kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. No matter what the media says, no matter what subtle messages you may have gotten from your dad or your mom or your friends or whatever it is, you don't have to be perfect. And in fact, the more you try things and experience failure, the better off you're going to be,
Mm.
because you learn that yes, failure is not fun, but you can live through that,
Hmm.
right? And you can learn from that. And every time you do that, you get a little stronger and it's a little less scary. And so you're willing to try something the next time a little easier, a little quicker. And as you go through and do them all, one after the other, you're like, yeah, I've done this. I can do this now. And that's really important, because that's how you tell your inner critic to shut up, because you've already done it. So don't tell me that I can't, or don't tell me that it's going to turn out badly. If it turns out badly, it's okay. I can figure that out because I've done that before. So
Hmm.
that's probably one of the biggest things, is not to be afraid of failure,
Hmm.
not to think that it has to be perfect.
Mm. I love
Yeah.
that. I call
But
mine.
it's one of the hardest things to do.
It can be, yeah. I like to call my inner critic negative Nancy.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, so it is one of the hardest things to do, to just step forward and do it, no matter what the result might be. So how do you get comfortable with that uncertainty and just go for it anyways?
Well, I like to encourage my clients to take little steps. So if you say, okay, I'm here now, I want to be there in 6 months, in 3 months, whatever that is, and you think about, what steps do I have to accomplish in order to get there? What do I have to learn? What
Hmm.
do I have to put in place? What do I have to practice? And so you make small small tasks, if you will, okay? A small experiment, a little bet. And you say, okay, I'm going to try this. It's small. It's not a big risk. It's not like I'm, deciding I'm going to go out on the world stage and tell everybody how wonderful my ideas are. I'm just going to do this little thing here.
Hmm.
And, and so it's not as scary because the risk isn't so great. The
Hmm.
reward may be a little smaller, that's true, but that's okay, because what you're doing is you're building the foundation to get to your plan. So it's really important to have a plan for this, because if you do it kind of randomly and you try this, like, oh, this is kind of scary to me, maybe I'll try that. And, oh, well, this is kind of scary to me, maybe I'll try that. Well, you are building your courage muscles, but you're not really advancing yourself forward in the plan that you want to achieve. So that's really, I think that's one of the most important things. And as you become more comfortable taking those chances and seeing how that works, figuring out, wow, that didn't work so good. Okay, what do I need to do? And this is where the mindset comes in about failure.
Mm.
So if you fail, then it's only failure if you don't learn anything,
Right.
if you don't move forward, right? If you just give up, then yeah, it's failure. But if you take that experience and you say, okay, well, what did I need to do differently? What external factors did I not take into account? What, how could I have been maybe better prepared?
Mm.
And here's the thing, women tend to go, oh shit, that didn't work. My fault.
Of course.
Something's wrong with me.
Of course.
I didn't do it right.
Yep.
Okay, and we immediately go to that place. Guys don't say that.
Right.
Guys talk about, everybody else that was the problem, right? But the thing is, when we as women say, it was about me, it was because I wasn't good enough, where does that leave you? If you look at the outside circumstances that affected the outcome of your little bet, then you can say, oh, okay, I can fix that. I can work on that. I can do that differently.
Mhm.
But when your failure comes from you and your lack of something, it's pretty hard to go anyplace good from there,
Mm.
right?
Ab-
So we just say, oh, I guess I'm just not good enough. Okay, well, close the book on that. I guess so much for that idea.
Get-
And we give up. We do.
Mhm.
We just give up. It's like, oh, and I think I trace that back to how a lot of women are raised as children. You know, our parents, or well, we actually, I guess, parented our children to think, oh, well, if it's a problem, don't worry about it, honey. You don't have to try that. It was too difficult for you. That's what we heard when we were growing up.
Mhm.
It's, oh, don't worry your pretty little head over it. You won't ever have to worry about those things. And so you never learned the resilience that's necessary to face an obstacle and deal with it. Instead, you're taught, oh, if it's hard or if it's painful or if it's scary, well, then you just turn away and you just go bury your head in the sand someplace. And so that's what we do. We just give up our hands and we go, oh, I guess that's not for us.
Right.
But what do? We just close the door on something that before we really get to find out if it really is for us.
Hmm.
So, that's the kind of thing that I talk about with clients. Um, who says it's not for you? You kind of have to question that ingrained concept of, oh, that didn't work for me. It must not be for me, right? It didn't work, so obviously I'm not good at that, or whatever. So yeah, you have to um,
I believe that
you
because
have to work at that.
if you're somebody who is feeling called to go and do something and you feel that pull and that desire, then there's a reason for that. It's not just because,
Yeah,
you had this idea randomly. There's a reason behind it. And I do feel that if you're called to do something, you need to go do it. Doesn't matter if you're a woman or
yeah,
male or, yeah, doesn't matter at all. If you're called to do it, go do it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And it's true, but unfortunately, a lot of women don't listen to their intuition,
mhm,
right? They're so used to hearing that inner critic, they've forgotten what that inner wise woman sounds like.
mm, mhm.
And in our Western culture, intuition is too touchy feely. We're all about science and data and facts, and so women have wonderful intuition, but we're never encouraged to use it for anything other than, knowing if your child is lying to you about coming in late at night or something like that. When it comes to business and work and the other elements of life, intuition has to sit in the back seat, which is really sad because intuition has a lot to say.
It sure does. And in this group, we talk about intuition a lot. So, welcome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Joanne,
it's true.
I asked this question of everybody. What does being a well-balanced solopreneur mean to you?
Yeah. Balance is so important. And if you're that kind of type A personality, which a lot of entrepreneurs are, they're driven to get things done. They think they have to get it all done at once, right? When they get started, they just have to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until they burn themselves out.
That was
And then it all falls apart. And so what being well balanced means is understanding that you need to take a break. You need to give yourself time to replenish and recuperate, to give yourself some self-care. I always say self-care is not selfish because women tend to think that, right? It's survival. If
absolutely.
you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be there to help your clients, to help your family, your friends, because you're going to be so empty and so burned out. All you're going to do is just sit in the corner and cry.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Love it.
that's what being well balanced looks like to me.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that answer. So, if anybody wanted to find you or stalk you online, how would they go about finding you and
Yeah,
following you?
yeah. Well, my website is midliferewritten.com, and you can find me there. I have, I'd love for people to come by and, check in with me. You can, I have a free giveaway about learning to kick your fears to the curb.
Nice.
So that's something that you're welcome to. And you also have the opportunity to book a discovery call with me. I like to talk with new people at least. I give 45-minute discovery calls because it's really important some people do half an hour, some people even do 15 minutes. And I think that, you can hear the clock ticking
Yeah.
when it's in a short time period like that. So I like to give them plenty of time so that they don't feel rushed and, they can open up a little bit about what it is that's bothering them and what they're hoping for in
Mm.
terms of making change in their life. And you can find me on Facebook. Again, it's Midlife Rewritten.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out the whole Pinterest thing, but I haven't gotten there yet.
You and me.
So eventually. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Joanne. I love the conversation. I love the little tips we can use to help boost our confidence a little bit. So, thank you.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed talking with you, Cindy.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.